What's up, guys? So Konami have announced some features that are going to be coming to eFootball 25, or just eFootball as they're going to call it now. And I do have some interesting opinions and kind of a different perspective that I'm reading compared to what most people are saying online. So for those who are unaware, what's been changed, they have done the massive improvement of changing the name of trial match into exhibition match. But no, there is actually more than that. But I mean, it is kind of showing that if that's one of the things they're kind of showing off, there's not too much here. There's not much meat on the bone. Another thing is rainy and snow will become available in the mobile version. Must be already available on the console version. I don't know if it is, but I never looked at it, and I'm glad it's not in Dream Team because I'd rather just play it under the same conditions. Because back in PES, if it was raining, the pitch would get slippy and stuff, and I don't have a major problem with it, but I would prefer having just consistency. Okay, so this is what everyone's kind of freaking out about and worrying over. So, a trial version of the new control type Smart Assist will be implemented. Brain emoji, A emoji. Don't know what the A emoji means. This will support you during a match by automatically controlling certain aspects for you, such as shot power and dribbling direction. So we're going to get onto that in a minute. But first I want to just talk about the two players, but because I want to spend most of the video talking about this Smart Assist thing. So they're going to have two ambassador packs, interestingly enough. So I've been saying for months, you know, if you're a free-to-play player, you probably should just keep your coins for eFootball 25 because they're going to release an ambassador Messi. I didn't know that for sure, but I was 99% sure because it just made sense. There's so many Messi still in the database that they haven't used, and it just made sense to me. They actually have done a 2005-2006 Messi, which is actually very interesting, and it does make sense that this is the one they released because you'll notice they're also releasing an ambassador Neymar, which I feel like they had to do because everyone already has a good Messi card by now, or most people. Because they've done that, them three big time Messis, released that pack twice, and then they've done Copa America Messi and the Ambassador Messi last year. So they're releasing Neymar, which is cool. And then the Messi they are releasing is a really young Messi who's quite unique. So I would expect this Messi's stats to be really geared towards him just being a really good dribbler and really good at pace. His finishing will probably be decent, mid-80s. I don't think he'll be a great finisher or a great passer. He'll just be really fast and as a winger. So that is cool. And then Neymar, I would actually just expect this Neymar to be very well-rounded and very good. So I'd actually expect this Neymar to probably be the kind of higher overall player, or definitely the more well-balanced out of these two. So that's the thread that Konami have kind of given for their information, but there actually is more they announced, and it's interesting that they don't include it there. So they are also bringing finesse dribble into eFootball, which is something that I already thought was in eFootball. So we already know finesse dribbling is in this game. I use it, and part of why I think I kind of got views on my videos early on, because I'm one of the few people who actually uses drag back dribbling. Now this new feature is slightly different, but I am a little bit worried, and I'll explain why in a sec. I remember talking on stream about finesse dribbling, how most people don't know it's in the game, and Konami need to do something about making it so people can, you know, engage them more. Like, people need to understand that this is in the game, and it improves how much I enjoy it anyway, so it should improve how much other people enjoy the game a lot. And I said how they could just make it, you hold the button and do the dribbling, and then there you go. Most people can do it, which I don't really like the sound of, because I actually do think a lot of the skill gap is in your ability to use the analog stick. Now, then someone in my chat, I think it was Nez, said, isn't that hypocritical? You want, you know, to keep it the way it is because you have that advantage with your controller, and then because I have a DualSense Edge, and, you know, you don't want other people to use it. And that's not true. I wanted so the way I play on my DualSense Edge is how normal controllers play, so everyone can do finesse dribble if they're good enough. It seems like Konami just don't have confidence in that happening, and I understand why. Like, most people still don't use it to this day. You don't need to use it, you can just spam 1-2s. So they're adding this back in from PES. This used to be in PES finesse dribbling. So we're gonna start calling what we thought was finesse dribbling. We'll just call it drag back dribbling. So finesse dribbling is ideally for going side to side. You can go backwards based on back in PES, but as you can see, side to side here, and it looks identical to how it did in PES. I think I don't notice any difference. So it will be for going side to side, and exactly as you're noticing here, the idea is engage or start the finesse dribble, get your opponent to kind of lure in, get him to fall for a bait, and then sharp touch out the opposite way and use a burst of pace to get by your opponent. So it is cool, but I don't think it's already in the game. I don't know why We have to wait a whole year for something that's pretty much already in the game. Finesse dribbling going backwards is really bad. With this type one back in PES, it's a bit slow. It's not the greatest. It's more for side to side. So I'm worried that Konami are removing drag back dribbling, and this is the finesse dribbling we have now. And if that's the case, look, it's not enough to make me stop playing the game, but it's enough to make me stop loving the game, because the finesse dribbling is, drag back dribbling, sorry, is something I love about eFootball. And I think it's like, it was actually like a kind of a show of, is ingenuity the right word? Like it was just a perfect way of making dribbling skill based, in my opinion, but making it so if you wanted to dribble, it wasn't like the first week of eFootball 23, or sorry, 24, where Haaland could dribble through the whole team. If you want to use drag back dribbling, you have to be good and composed and understand timings and stuff. So I am worried that because they're adding this finesse dribbling in, they're gonna remove the old finesse dribbling or drag back dribbling. Now there is a reason to not think they're going to do this, and it's because of these changes to shielding. So back in PES, you couldn't shield by pressing a button. The way you shielded was you just let go of the controller, and the game understood that as, okay, you can let go. If you don't put any input in, that's you wanting to shield. And I thought it was an okay system, honestly. I thought it was kind of cool. I do prefer the shielding system we have at the moment. I think shielding's quite good at the moment, especially if you understand that when you're pressing L2 to shield, the amount you press down the button determines how much kind of shield you do. So if you want to keep your momentum, you press lightly. And that information's only useful for another whatever 48 hours or something. So sorry for giving you a last minute tip. But this is why I haven't done the really well requested dribbling tutorial, because I've been waiting for eFootball 25 to come out, just in case they change stuff, because I didn't want to make a video that would be outdated in a month or two. I could have done 2 videos and kind of milked it, but I wanted to do it once and kind of make it stand the test of time. So the training, or the dribbling tutorial, will be coming. Let's hope they don't overhaul this drag back dribbling we have, because that's a big part of how to dribble in this game, or the way I dribble at the moment. But yeah, so they're going to make physical contact more important, and it looks like more contextual animations for physical, which I think is cool. I think it can be cool, sorry. I don't have a major opinion on it. There are some people who think it's, because you're not telling Messi to put your shoulder across, it's less skill-based and it's more AI. I kind of do. I just disagree with that. I don't see how like you're using the controller to control, like you have a controller with 2 analog sticks and 8 buttons. These 4 are pretty much useless anyway. So you have 4 buttons. There's only so much you can tell your player to do. The game needs to contextually understand what happens on a football pitch, and fill in the blanks for you, fill in the gaps. That's what this is doing. It's filling in more gaps, which is cool. But more importantly, improvements to physical contact. Hopefully this makes it so physical strikers are usable again. PES has always been, you can use physical strikers. FIFA is as well. People don't think it is on FIFA, but FIFA physical strikers are quite good. I know at the moment, I think you can spam crosses on FIFA, and that's OP. I'm talking about just playing like a Lewandowski, even though he's not that physical. I'll get into in a minute what I mean exactly. Lewandowski, Harry Kane, someone like them, and have success. Both games have always been, you can use it, but the difference between why people thought you couldn't use those type of strikers in FIFA, and the reason you could use them in PES, was because of the way stats worked in PES compared to FIFA. Whereas in FIFA Ultimate Team, player stats got way crazier, way quicker, and the chemistry styles especially. You could have a player with 90, all these dribbling stats, really good dribbling stats and decent finishing, but if you just gave him a Hunter playstyle, he'd have like 95 finishing. So what was the point in using that type? What was the point in using Lewandowski with 95 finishing when you could use, I don't know, Gabriel Jesus, well, the good dribbling stats and 95 finishing too? So that's why in FIFA people have that perception, in my opinion. Whereas in eFootball we didn't have that problem, or PES, sorry, at the start of eFootball, because people used to use Van Basten, people used to use Van Nistelrooy. Now player stats have gone crazy. I used to use Van Basten. I wouldn't use them. I would never think of using them again, just because why would I use a player like Van Basten, who's not the most mobile and has 95 finishing, when I can use Romario, who is like the most agile player, and he also has 95 finishing? Or I can use Messi with all these crazy stats, who also has 95 finishing or 90 finishing and all the pace, etc, etc. You understand my point? So they're saying they're going to make physical contact more important, bring that type of player back into the game. Because the stats are so high, I don't believe it, but we will see. We will see what's happening. Now, next is we're going to talk about, okay, so this is the Messi thing again. Yeah, we're going to talk about this smart assist. A lot of people are worried about this. I understand why people are worried about it. And I do think it's smart to kind of proceed with caution. But really, I'm not that worried about it for a few reasons. One, says a trial version of the new control type. So Konami themselves understand that if this is implemented wrong, people aren't going to be happy with it. So they're going to trial it first, which, you know, is a little bit of a kind of silver lining in the sense that they're going to not just deploy it in the game and now everyone's, you know, ChatGPT is playing for them. It's going to be for a limited amount of users, probably limited around the regions, you know, people to test it. But secondly, anyway, even if it was released widespread, this isn't going to be useful for players that are above Division 7. I don't think. Now I could be wrong, and I hope I'm not wrong. But I really think this is for like people who are at the bus stop. Remember, this is a mobile game at its core. Well, actually, I think it's a console game at its core, but it's a mobile game in practice. It's people playing at the bus stop and the connection drops, and their connection doesn't drop, so they kick them out of the game, but it does drop for, you know, a second at a time. This type of feature is for someone like that who doesn't have the consistent connection quality and wants to, you know, wants to still play the game. Same way, someone like, think about your dad, alright? Your dad probably plays some games on his phone, probably plays chess, probably plays, I don't know, I see my dad playing, play Candy Crush. He plays, it's like Bejeweled or something. It's a different knockoff version. I don't know what he's playing. eFootball is already like one of the most popular games on mobile. I think it's like the 5th highest revenue game or something on the apps on the Play Store. I don't know exact numbers. Anyway, they've already got all the market share that they for their target market on mobile. Like they've got 500 million downloads, whatever number it is. I don't know, something crazy. The only people left are people who wouldn't play eFootball in the first place. That's the only people. That's the only growth. They have two avenues for growth: get more money out of their existing customers, and then they can also get new customers. They've already kind of gotten all the customers that would play the game. Now they need to try to find a way, or they are trying to find a way to reach that next kind of demographic. I really think it's just something simple for them type of people who, you know, like if I were to play an RTS game, a real-time strategy game, I think if you're a pro player, you have to have like 120 inputs a second. Now a lot of them could be useless inputs. You're just kind of, you know, spazzing out on the keyboard. But if I played it, I would only have like 4-5 inputs a second, and ultimately it would result in me not wanting to continue playing the game because I wouldn't be able to keep up. Not that I have to be a pro level, but I wouldn't be able to keep up in online play. So that's a customer that whatever RTS game I'm playing is saying, well, we failed to convert this customer and keep them on our game to spend money on microtransactions. That's what Konami are facing now. In a football game, I've been playing these things for nearly my entire life, so I can't like understand that kind of frame of reference of how do you not understand, you know, how to pass, how to shoot and stuff. But that's what those people exist out there because they don't play football games, or they don't play football, they don't have an interest in football. Konami's trying to reach them. So I do think this smart assist is literally only targeting that type of person. I wouldn't be too worried about it, but your mom and dad might be playing eFootball in a few months with this smart assist feature. So overall, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Oh no, we've actually got, learned a little bit. Ronaldo might be getting the player of the week. Hopefully, he did come off the bench and score against Scotland. That would be good if in the first week we got a player of the week, Ronaldo. I was just reading some thoughts on what people are saying about this smart assist AI. There are people who kind of agree with me. I think that's all that's going to happen. But this Winstar guy, I always see this guy on Reddit. There he is again. He said he kind of actually has the same opinion as me. He's more surprised about the finesse dribbling. Like if we look at the animation for it, this doesn't look good to me. Let's slow it down a little bit. I think it looks a bit fast. Let's slow it down. Like that just doesn't. That looks so robotic. I remember when I was playing PES back then, it would be very robotic. I don't really care about that type of stuff, but it is interesting because I know a lot of people do care. And I don't know, they already have a perfect implementation of finesse dribbling. Other than the threshold they've set on the analog stick to activate it. Just need to be less strict on that, and they've got a perfect. I don't know why they're adding this into the game. But I did say a month ago, or whatever, when people ask, what do I want to change? I don't want too much change. I'd rather they kind of change less and change more and overhauled it and made it worse. Because I don't think the game's too bad. Just AI defending needs to be toned down. And you know what? Maybe what if this smart assist feature is because they're going to tone down AI defending, and they need to give that just bottom 10% player of the player base like that extra help. But what if this is anticipation of them, decreasing AI defending? Because that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. The AI defending is going to get even more stronger. All right, there's also another thing here. This guy claims to say this is the confirmed players in the pack where we get our contract renewals converted into chance deals. He's got a great source. His source is his sources. So yeah, I wouldn't believe this, but I would say this is a good kind of, well, it says prediction actually at the bottom. I don't know why. The people who spread news on eFootball are like, people just believe anything. It would be funny if this is actually what comes out though. And I'm just talking bad about this guy, but I wouldn't be too confident in this exact selection, but it is a good idea of what type of thing to expect. Like I definitely could see Forlan, Drogba, Guti, Seedorf. The only players here that Konami might not give out, in my opinion, would be a Nesta, a Davids, and maybe Bergomi, although I can't see Bergomi. I think he's a bit behind the power curve now. Now I'm not saying I'd be surprised if Nesta or Davids came out, but I feel like they need to. I think those are two very good players. They're going to have to find a mix of a player that's got a lot of hype around them, but that isn't that good, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. Interestingly, there's no real interest in attacking players here, really. They're all kind of physical players, no one nimble and stuff. Maybe that's what's going to happen, and it kind of goes to the point that they're going to give you players that aren't that usable. So the servers go down on Wednesday and should come back on Thursday morning, the normal time. The servers come back on Thursday, but I would expect delays. Traditionally, whenever these big maintenance happen, they always get delayed a few hours, and they tell you, all right, it's going to be delayed for an hour, and then the hour passes, out delayed for another hour. So if you're going to be sitting at home and waiting to play, just anticipate delays, and don't just don't anticipate the game's gonna work on release. Give it a few, just have it in your head. All right, if they say 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., just think midday, and you'll be a lot happier.